That's where they were that day we're here with Maya. This is Dry Creek. This is Dry Creek right here. This is where we want the salmon to come back. Right here on this stretch, you lose signal on the phones. And so I pulled over right there. And Maya wanted to come down to the creek. And so I let her out of the car and she came down and she was kind of stooped over the water, playing in the water a little bit. And then she comes running up to the car and she's hollering, "It's run for salmon, Grandma, it's run for salmon." And I'm thinking, what? Because she wanted me to come, right? Come, Grandma, come. So I get out of the car and we come down and I'm right there with her. And sure enough, those salmon are right there, and they might have been spawning right there because they kept coming back to it. Did you see a salmon in there?
Yeah.
She goes, "See? Sing, Grandma." And sing. It's run for salmon. And I thought about it. It was like, yeah, that's the run for salmon right there. When the salmon are here, that is it, you know. We're always doing these things for run for salmon and praying for them to come, but she actually put it all together, and that was Run for Salmon right here. Everybody on Run for Salmon, you know, everybody who supports Run for Salmon, I heard about it, or Salmon Somewhere, you know, salmon runners all over the place are waking those vibrations up so that the salmon find their way back. Maya was like the little miracle pathway to finding them. It's got to be like a wild fish because there's no hatchery on this stream bed. There's no hatchery on Cow Creek. So they had to make that turn where we do that ceremony and sing for them to turn there. And we're going to run the McLeod River water down this tributary, all the way from the village down this tributary, so that we're praying for those fish to turn right here. All the songs, all the people, you know, praying for them. And so it's like magic. They heard it. They made that turn. They came up Cow Creek. They made another turn, came up Dry Creek to come all the way up here. And so now it's like we have no doubt that they will. They are doing it already. And if there was a waterway all the way to McLeod right now, they would go. We've been working with the Bureau of Reclamation about restoration of salmon because of the raise of Shasta Dam. And then also NOAA Fisheries and the DWR, bringing them this idea to say we can get McLeod River salmon back from New Zealand and put back into the McLeod and have a swimway for them in and out. That would reduce the cost of cold water pool, and it would restore the runs of salmon. And so this waterway has been one of our major plans, and we bring the Run for Salmon people down this waterway and with prayers and songs and all the way to the Sacramento River and then all the way to the ocean. But asking the Bureau of Reclamation to recognize that this is a possibility. If there is enough water in here, that the salmon will come back. And so this already proves that the salmon will swim back up this waterway. And this is the only amount of water that's needed. And if they can do that, there's hundreds of miles of rivers and streams above Shasta Dam that should be full of spawning. And in addition, they would have access to straying over into the Sacramento River. And if PG&E would remove some of those dams or put the ladders in, they would go up the Pitt River as well, like they used to. Whoa, there he goes.
Stop! Stop scaring me! Stop scaring me!
This is it. Kind of the miracle has come true that salmon haven't been in this water for decades. I mean, probably at least 3 or 4 decades that I know of. But I do know they used to come up this stream, and they used to come up to the village. And now they don't anymore, but here it is, you know. And for them to come, I kind of feel like they could only come here by prayer.